So let's play a little game, shall we? You know, put yourself in my shoes for a minute and imagine this. You know, you're about to start working on your brand new video. A video all about the... Only then you realize you're biting off way more than you can chew, seeing as how you haven't uploaded a video in a month at the time. And, you know, the video's taking a lot longer than you expected, you know, because it's big research kind of stuff, you know, lots of time and effort into it. So, you know, you think of ideas that you could use and do for a filler in-between video. Not a video that you put less dedication and like one you just throw out there, but just kind of something more simplistic and easier on the monkey brain, you know? But only then to realize your lease is about to end at your current place and, you know, you got to find a new place to live, and your roommate, your best friend who moved out a couple weeks early, who also paid for the internet, Brendan, accidentally cuts it off, you know, just a little early. So you're stranded for 2 weeks waiting to move into your new place without any internet. And so you take it as kind of a godsend, you know, it's whatever, you know, this is time for me to play some games, hang out with some friends, relax a little, just not really focus on YouTube, you know, it's all good, you know. But then you move into the new place, you know, and everything's going swell until 2 days after you finish moving, while unpacking still, you start to realize, oh, I'm getting a little bit congested, and, you know, I got a scratchy throat here and there, you know, it just must be the allergy train just, just chugging right into my fucking nostrils. But then, only to fucking get hit at 5 a.m. on the morning of August 24th with a 103-degree fever out of fucking nowhere, and it stayed like that for 5 fucking days. I went to the doctors. I had strep. I got prescribed some amoxicillin. I healed up in like 10 days, or like I was fine after like 2, but like, you know, you have to take them for 10 days, but it was, yeah. But still, it gave you no time to work on your video, no time to relax, no time to finish unpacking and getting the internet set up, your computer set up, your wall set up, your fucking shelves set up. It gave you no time for that, no time to move, no time to fucking be happy. All you did in bed was watch AVGN videos, which I am not complaining about, but I really would have liked to work on my video. I couldn't work on either of them because I was fucking stuck reading in my bed. But I'm here now. Disappearance aside, I have arrived with a very, not very simplistic, but a simpler video that soothes my monkey poo flinging brain. A video all about Spotify's niche core made for you playlist. Now, not to get political, but yes, I am a Spotify user. I've been using the platform since 2018, and over the course of my usage, I've seen all the funny little quirks and things Spotify has done and added to get its users to listen to more music. And one of those things being the made-for-you niche mix playlists. Now, seeing how they advertise the made-for-you in the description, I kind of wanted to test that out. You know, like, I've checked out a made-for-you playlist or two before and never really felt that they were like giving me exactly what I wanted. Like they were close, like sometimes so close. In other words, Spotify was edging me. Why? But I mean, hey, come on. That was only a couple playlists for a select kind of thing. I want to venture out. I want to see how well the Spotify algorithmic gods are at understanding my music taste and introducing me to new bands, artists, and acts' music. Also, just to see how well they are as playlists and would I go back to them and blah, 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 blah. So I picked 5 playlists to listen to for each day. Morning mix, strange mix, Thursday mix, jazz fusion mix, and Goblin core mix. I try not picking mixes that would have a lot of the same songs in them as another playlist, you know, so that way there's no cross-contamination per se. So let's get this showboat rolling on the road. I forgot how to YouTube. I chose the morning mix to start off this this little funny test. It's something simple and not too hard. I worked this morning as well, so I didn't get to listen to it all during the morning. Call me a cheater if you must, but I honestly kind of dug this mix regardless. From the likes of I'd Have You Anytime by George Harrison, songs about Jane era Maroon 5, and I don't care what you have to say, I dig the fuck out of the Maroon 5 era, that it's like when they were at their peak and then it just went Hiatus Coyote, Red Room, A Bee by Common, Dirty Work by Steely Dan, and with that last one, I felt for a moment that I was Tony Soprano on my way to work.
I'm a fool to do your dirty work, oh yeah. I don't wanna do your dirty work no more.
But like I said earlier, I really dug this mix quite a bit. Like, I find it kind of hard to fuck up a morning mix. Plucky folk strings, relaxed kick drums brought to you by an NPC. Like, I didn't really add any new music to my playlist, my main playlist from this mix, but in this case, I don't really think that was a bad thing. Once again, I had to work, so I decided to get a little bit quirky, a little bit odd with it, a little bit strange.
When you're strange.
The strange mix was underwhelming. There were artists I expected to see on this playlist like King Gizzard, Gorillaz, Quasimodo, Neutral Milk Hotel, Paul McCartney, but the second McCartney album era songs. JPEG Mafia and The Smiths, which that one was an odd coincidence, with a dash of irony, of course.
Tom, Vard, Morrissey, yeah, bunch of timid white who can't fuck with me.
Although with the choice of artists like that, you'd think that the playlist would have more strange artists to come. Well, no. It's weird to see what the Spotify algorithm categorizes with strange, because at one point, All in My Life in the Ghetto by J-Rock and Lil Wayne started to play, and I love that song. It's a great song. But it's definitely not the type of song to get eyebrows raised at me while I'm stopped at a stoplight, you know? Like, this mix kind of acts like it's introducing me to alternative strange music with some safe choices along the way, as not to scare me out of my really high wearing short shorts and my flat brim hats. But little do they know, actually they should, but I listen to Quasimodo.
This is the song that plays in my head when I walk up to girls. When I'm strolling to pick up some hotties, and I got that strut to me, you know, I did end up adding 2 songs from this playlist. Help on the Way by The Grateful Dead and Orifices Under the Influence by The Buttertones. Both lovely songs. Help on the Way is probably being my favorite. At the end of this, my takeaway from this mix is that it wasn't really a Doctor Strange, more like the soon-to-be nurse of Strange taking notes of what Doctor Strange is really doing. I do wish they had more experimental artists like Frank Zappa, maybe some Danny Brown, R. Stevie Moore, and any others that fit along that weird, strange bundle. What better way to start off your Sunday than with a Thursday mix? My whole existence is dedicated to bringing down this governmental conformity and allowing people to listen to Thursday mixes on Sundays. Fuck you. This mix, I think, was kind of the least interesting, seeing as how it wasn't dedicated to a certain mood, genre, or whatever. It was just kind of whatever. There was some Dr. Dog here, a bit of Justin Timberlake there, a tad bit of De La Soul there, with a sprinkle of Cameron there. So an overall range of all types of feelings and genres. I ended up adding 4 songs from this mix. Hey Ma by Cameron, which I knew about this song and have listened to before, but this playlist got me to add it to my main playlist, so it counts, I guess. Smoking Dope and Rock and Roll by Andy Frasco and the UN. Screwed by John T. And one thing about this song I want to say, this ended up leading me down a rabbit hole because Steve Lacy is featured on the song, and the song itself also appears on a compilation album by Jay Versace, which got me a bit of deja vu, and I was like, that guy looks familiar. Only to Google him and find out it's the same guy from back in the Vine days. You know, the Vine days, and brought us one of my favorite Vines ever.
Everybody in the club get tipsy.
Then to go farther down the rabbit hole, I figure out that he became a popular producer and has credits from Westside Gunn, Boldy James, Tyler the Creator, SZA, and remixed Layup by Denzel Curry off the Unlocked 1.5 album. And I didn't know how I didn't notice this before. Like, this is crazy fucking cool, man. He's made some of my favorite beats and The Same Stars by Karate. Honestly, my favorites that I added are probably Smokin' Dope and Rock and Roll and Hey Ma. I always chuckle when I hear this lyric after the second chorus of Smokin' Dope.
Ain't no better way to go to hell.
And Hey Ma is just a lovely, fun song where Jules Santana and Cameron hit on chicks in the club and charm. It's just got charm and wit, and it's a fun song. Also, that fucking beat flip is fucking bananas. Aside from that, Sunday's Thursday mix was pretty alright. Today I had the whole ass day to myself, so I decided some jazz was in order, and not just any jazz, but some jazz fusion. And I was not that impressed with this mix. I kind of expected a little bit more out of it in terms of artists too. It's not a lot of familiars or interesting new people. Like they had artists like Roy Ayers, Cortex, Flying Lotus, and a band named off of that one villain in JoJo Part 3. There was a good deal of Japanese jazz funk, which I always love and I think is kind of underrated. But something I did notice was that there was a lack of any jazz rap, like, you know, or Tribe Called Quest, anything like that. There was some De La Soul. There was a De La Soul. Oh, Why Does It Hurt When I Pee was mixed in here, which, I mean, I love that song for how stupid it is, but like, there are other Frank Zappa songs to choose from, and that was the only one. With that said, I did add 4 new songs. Midnight Rendezvous by Casoponi, Judas by Esperanza Spalding, Yenny by the Young Jazz Giants, and Datura by Cortex. But I already know about Cortex and Casoponi, so I only really added like 2 new artists. In the end, I don't know. This playlist, it was just meh by this mix. It didn't really hit me a lot. Like the picks that they had in there were just kind of just underwhelming or just didn't really grab my attention, which sucks, you know, because I feel like jazz fusion is a fucking great subgenre, and you know, I don't know. I feel like this playlist kind of went. Dear God, the fated day has arrived. The Goblin Core mix. Let me tell you, when I was looking for mix playlists, this one caught my eye immediately. And taking a look at it, the selection of music, well, it's interesting to see what Spotify considers quote-unquote Goblin Core. Come to think of it, what does Goblin Core even mean? Is it a lifestyle, an aesthetic, maybe a Greek dish? The true societal question. To ask another question though, what kind of music is to be expected from a Goblin Core mix playlist? Well, imagine this person's aesthetic. This is the sound, this is what they would sound like if they were music. A mesh of alternative / indie, psych rock, progressive folk with a mix of show OSTs like Adventure Time, Over the Garden Wall, and the movie soundtrack from Mr. Fantastic Fox. I mean, hell, the Adventure Time theme literally starts off this playlist. And a side note, as I keep getting older, I start to more and more appreciate and love Adventure Time soundtrack. Not saying I didn't enjoy it before, I'm not insane. But you know, songs like Everything Stays, it just, I don't know, it does something to me, okay? But aside from those OSTs, there are artists like Fleet Foxes, Men I Trust, Jack Stauber, Strawberry Fields Forever by the Beatles, which is the only Beatles song in this playlist, and I'm not mad, because this one is the best pick for the mix overall's theme. So if they had to have a Beatles song in there, I'm happy that it was this one. I'll give Spotify some credit, okay? A good handful of these songs relate or have some theming around, I guess, Goblin Core, you know, things and kind of naturey vibes. Except this song. No. This band is why I added and decided to check out this playlist. Goblin Cock. A California heavy metal band that fucking rocks, plain and simple. The song Stumped got stuck in my head from the moment I laid my ear holes on it. And the fact that Spotify, the algorithm went, oh yes, Goblin Core, Goblin Cock, let's just bring them together. Honestly, I don't know if I should be laughing or if I should be getting down on my knees for Spotify, because this honestly, jokes aside, this fucking rocks. This band rocks, and this band rocks. But Goblin Cock, I mean, Goblin Core, I mean, Goblin Cock, I mean, Goblin Core was a pretty good mix. I added 5 songs. The Garden Goblin by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, No Wonder I by Lake, Fish in the Sea, The Water's Fine, The Bug Collector, Haley Hendricks, and Stumped by Goblin Cock. So that was 5 days of listening to Spotify mix playlists. And
it says I'm still a virgin.
In other words, nothing has changed for me. For casual listeners, this made for you mix works fine as a quick 2-hour listening session while you're working, while you're busy with cooking, something like whatever it might be for someone that doesn't really listen to music. But as for someone who is always constantly having something in my ears listening to music, I don't really see myself using these. Their creation just kind of feels like Spotify is trying to justify a reason for overflooding their app with these subgenre ones. Like, yes, Goblin Core is all funny and it is an okay playlist, you know, but then there's just an abundance of what the fucks. There's a meme mix playlist that has actual songs that have rotated through meme culture and by acts and bands that are somewhat in comedy, you know, and whatnot, like Ninja Sex Party, Starbomb, Tom Cardy, and etc. But then for some reason, there's artists and acts in here like Kill Bill, the rapper, Rav, and Hiatus Coyote. Like, I don't know, some of these picks are odd to me, especially since I don't think that they really have any basis in quote unquote memes, and Spotify was just like, oh, that guy that has a slight branch into this, you know, had something funny. He was on the No Nut November song. Put his About Last Night song in the meme mix. Yes, this is a meme song. It's like, I don't know about that, Spotify. I don't know about that. Funny enough, this playlist does have Why Does It Hurt When I Pee in it, and it actually fits. Of course, these playlists will always be updating, you know, because it's based off my data and what I decide to listen to and who I choose to listen to. But I just find some picks odd. And to mention that as well, not everyone is gonna have the same experience with these mixes. As in the title, they are made for you. But from my experience and from what Spotify has pulled from my listenings and whatnot, I don't really find a use in these, except for maybe when I'm at work and I have the speaker, and when I walk away, I don't want to have to worry about why does it hurt when I pee being blasted throughout a kitchen. These AI algorithmic playlists kind of serve as cannon fodder in contrast to something like the radio or more specific made for you playlists. Like I have a jazz rap, a mellow beats playlist saved, a Grizzly Bear, Rage Against the Machine, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, and Mount Joy radios all saved because I feel with these ones, the algorithm works the best at compiling songs and artists that would pique an interest to me. Because at the end of the day, it's all based off of what you listen to. You know, you are giving Spotify this data and they're trying to give it back to you in other artists and music. But with these niche ones and the weird ass subgenres, it's just, I don't know. It just something does, it just doesn't, they could be so much more than they are.
I'm not sure what Spotify really has in store for these made for you mixes. Although I just really hope that they become better than what they currently are. Hopefully that they get more attention put into them. Hopefully that the curations are a little bit better and the algorithmic suggestions are a little bit better as well. And hopefully that they just fucking like downsize on so much of these useless cores. Like what the fuck is Goblin core? I want to know. And I might want to eat it. I'm not sure. Come back to me on that one. But I can rest easy at night knowing that I'm a Spotify user, you know, and that sits well in my heart, you know, because God forbid if I was a fucking Apple, I was a fucking Apple Music user. Like, I just...
Yeah, I don't be giving no fucks. I don't know what to call it on. I don't be.
Oh yeah, the total Spotify mixes 5 out of Subway sandwich.